Hey friend, can I ask you something? When you're in the middle of a really intense emotion, like anger that's building, or anxiety that's spiking, or that emptiness creeping in, what's your first instinct? Do you try to push through it? Pretend it's not there? Do you let it consume you? For years, my instinct was to just let it happen. I'd let the emotions take over, I'd spiral out of control, I'd react and lash out, and then I'd regret it later. But then I learned something powerful. You can pause. You can hit the brakes on your emotions before they spiral out of control. It's called the pause button technique, and it changed everything for me. Let me tell you how this used to work for me. When I would be in a conversation with someone and they would say something that triggered me, boom, I'd react. I'd snap back to them real quick. I'd say something hurtful or shut down completely. I'd be in my head for hours replaying what I said, what they said, all the things I should have done differently. Or I'd be alone, and that emptiness would hit. And instead of sitting with it, I'd try to fill it. Talk to people I shouldn't, do things I'd regret, make impulsive decisions just so I could feel something. But here's what I realized. In that moment, between the trigger and the reaction, there's a gap. A small window where I can choose to pause instead of react to it. So here's how the pause button works. First, you have to notice a trigger and recognize it. Maybe it's something someone said or a certain situation you get yourself into on a regular basis. It could be a physical sensation, tightness in your chest, heat rising, feeling like your head's spinning. Notice it and name it. Second, recognize the urge to react. Your brain is telling you to respond right now, to do something that's usually not in your best interest immediately, but you don't have to. Third, literally pause, take a breath, step back from the situation. Put physical distance between yourself and the trigger. If you can't physically, do it mentally. Just sit there for a couple seconds before you respond to that urge. It's okay. Fourth, give yourself permission to wait. You don't have to respond right now. You can take a minute, an hour, a day if you need to, in order to think clearly. It's okay to say, I need to think about this, or I'll get back to you. Most of the time, it's really not something that's as urgent as you think it is. And most of the time, I've also realized that when I do that to people and I ask them or I let them know, I'll come back to you in a minute. I need to pause. I need to think about this before I react. They're very understanding and give me that space. Fifth thing, use that pause to check in with yourself. Ask, am I reacting to what's happening right now, or am I reacting to something from the past? Will this matter in a week? Is this worth my peace? It could just be that you're having a bad day, horrible traffic, you got stuck by a train when you're running late, and that's building up inside you. Then all of a sudden somebody triggered you, and that's what you're reacting to. You're reacting to your day building up, not that person in that moment, which really pushes people away. So here's how you can actually use this in your daily life. Practice awareness. Start noticing your triggers. You can keep a log of what triggered you, the emotions you felt, and how you carried on in that situation. Write down what sets you off and how you reacted. The more you know your patterns, the easier it is to catch them. Create a pause ritual. It could be taking a deep breath, stepping outside, splashing water on your face, just going for a walk, counting to 10, whatever works for you. Something that signals your brain to think clearly and responsibly. Third thing you can do is prepare a script. Have something ready to say when you need to pause in a conversation. I need a minute. Can we talk about this later? I need to step away and calm down. You don't have to explain everything in that moment, but say something so the person that's you're involved in a situation with knows that you need a second before you react to them and you don't make things worse. Fourth, don't judge yourself for pausing. Some people will think you're being rude or dismissive, but that's okay. Your mental health matters more than their comfort. And once you come back to get things settled, they will understand and realize what happened, and they'll probably be grateful. Lastly, you follow up after the pause. And once you've calmed down, go back and address the situation. You've given yourself time to think clearly. Now you can respond thoughtfully instead of reactively. Things will go a lot better. Now let's don't make the emotion disappear. Sometimes the feelings are still there after you pause. They're just quieter, more manageable. You can deal with it better and more level-headed. But here's what I've learned. You don't have to be a slave to your reactions. You can choose to pause and take a deep breath. You can choose to respond instead of react. And that choice is powerful. That means that you're in control and your emotions don't run the show. You do. So the next time you feel yourself getting triggered, hit the pause button. Give yourself the gift of time. You've got this, friend. One more thing I like to do so I could see my progression and see if things are working out is to track my progress. And like I mentioned earlier, logging my emotions and the situations I go through so I can track them over time throughout the month. I created a monthly tracking tool that's 31 days long, so it will cover any month of the year, as well as a workflow to see if I was overreacting in certain situations. They aren't perfect, but they work for me incredibly well. So if you have any feedback, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to make some adjustments to them if I need to. Personally, I have borderline personality disorder, and my emotions can be very, very strong and go up and down very, very fast. Pretty much at the flick of a light switch. It took me a really long time to figure this stuff out, so I thought I would help. So I thought I would share, and hopefully you can find some relief quicker than I did. Links for the tracking tool and the workflow are in the description if you want them. Like and subscribe if you'd like to know when I post new videos. I'm going to try to do at least 2 per week, talking about what I've learned over the years. Hope it helps. Have a good day, y'all.